Webcast today from beautiful Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, along with Rich King. I'm Len Casper. The White Sox looking to score some runs. They have been shut out each of the last 2 days, and today they take on the San Diego Padres in a Cactus League affair. And Rich, the White Sox will have Lance Lynn on the mound today, and we're going to also get a look at Michael Kopech and Garrett Crochet. Should be fun.
And Len, two of the best teams in baseball, as you well know, the Padres and the White Sox. The White Sox looking for some offense. 16 scoreless innings. I made the trek out to Goodyear over the weekend. They scored 7 runs in that game on Saturday, and since then, 16 scoreless innings. You mentioned the drought, 7 hits in the last 2 games. But having said that, they're facing some quality pitching today, but they faced Germán Marquez, Julio Urias, and David Price, among others, in those 2 games. So it doesn't get any easier today for the White Sox.
So Blake Snell, a former Cy Young Award winner for the Padres, and big Lance Lynn will take the ball for the 2nd time this spring for the White Sox. So we'll quickly get you the lineups for today's game. And this will be the White Sox first 9-inning affair here in the Cactus League. For Jace Tingler and the San Diego Padres, Trent Grisham will lead it off and play center field. Manny Machado is at third base, batting second. Eric Hosmer, the veteran first baseman, will bat third. Will Myers is in right, and he'll hit in the cleanup spot. Tommy Pham is the DH, batting fifth. Austin Nola, the catcher, will bat in the 6th position. Jorge Mateo is in left, batting 7th. Ivan Castillo, switch hitting second baseman, will bat 8th. CJ Abrams, a shortstop, will hit 9th. There are your umpires. Chris Guccione on the right will work home plate. Todd Titchener, Chris Siegel, and Alex Torrey will work the bases. Now for Tony La Russa's White Sox, Luis Robert plays center and will lead it off. Leori Garcia is at second base, batting second. Andrew Vaughn's going to play first today and hit third. Yermin Mercedes, a catcher, off to a terrific start this spring, will bat cleanup. Adam Engel is in right, batting fifth. Miker Adolfo, the DH, 6th. Luis Gonzalez bats 7th and plays left field. Danny Mendick, the shortstop, 8th. And veteran Matt Reynolds will play third base and hit 9th. Well, you're right about the Padres. They had quite an offseason. They acquired Blake Snell from the Tampa Bay club. They got Yu Darvish from the Chicago Cubs. Their rotation on paper, Rich, could be one of the best in baseball, and that does not include Mike Clevenger, who will miss the entire year due to Tommy John surgery. That's how deep this club is.
When Musgrove's your 5th starter, a very good pitcher, that's not too shabby, and they are loaded. Similar teams, Len, have been in these games for 4 years in the webcast, and you can see this farm system develop for San Diego. The White Sox the same way, a rebuild, and now the fruits, so to speak, are being enjoyed by both fans in San Diego and in Chicago. 2 very good teams, and those hope they meet in the World Series. Having said that, one bit of news from Tony La Russa this morning, by the way. Dylan Cease, who's been coming along slowly here in camp, they announced he will pitch on the 15th against the Cubs. So that's from Tony this morning, which is good news. Aside from that, Yasmani Grandal still has not played. He's expected back shortly. So little news, no major injuries for the White Sox, which, as you well know, Len, is the biggest thing about spring training. No injuries.
Yeah, a few bumps and bruises for Fernando Tatis Jr., but Jace Tingler basically indicated that if this were the regular season, he would probably be playing through it. Another gorgeous day here in Glendale. Maybe, I wouldn't say it's cool, but not as hot as it had been the past few days, but still just a beautiful atmosphere for baseball and a nice crowd gathering.
It's gorgeous as always. The mid-70s again today. Also interested in seeing Michael Kopech today. We had a chance. We did the game last March 10th when they shut it down. That was the last game we did before the COVID was shutting everything down. And in that game, Michael went 1 inning, 11 pitches I counted, I think 8 fastballs, 3 sliders, and 100 miles an hour, maybe a couple of 100 miles an hour. So after a year off, he sat it out. We'll see what he has this afternoon. He's expected to start the year in the bullpen. But, of course, he's projected as a starter for the White Sox down the road. So good matchup all the way around with some quality. Lance Lynn, you got Blake Snell, you got the Padres and the White Sox. We had the Dodgers yesterday, so some very good baseball as the White Sox hit the field here on this sunny afternoon in Glendale.
White Sox have only won 1 of their first 9. They have played 3 ties, and as I said, this will be the first time they will go all 9 here this spring. So here is Lance Lynn, the 33-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 250. He hails from Brownsburg, Indiana, pitched at the University of Mississippi, and a first-round pick of the Cardinals back in 2008. And when he made his major league debut, he was pitching for Tony La Russa at the time, so they're now reunited.
That's right, going back to 2011, the championship team. So he knows Tony. Tony knows him. He's a workhorse, of course, a quality pitcher, a big addition for the White Sox this year, which gives them kind of an edge in the starting rotation all the way around. A very solid, deep rotation for the White Sox and the Padres. Lynn taking his warm-up tosses, 67% fastballs, according to the Fangraph, 23% sliders, and 8% curves. 93 miles an hour, 94 maybe for Lance Lynn. So we'll see what he has to deliver here in the spring against the San Diego Padres.
We'll set the White Sox defensively. Mercedes catching. Vaughn at first, Garcia second, Mendick at short, Reynolds over at third, and left, center, right, Gonzalez, Robert, and Engel. Padres have a pretty good lineup in there today. Grisham, Machado, and Hosmer here in the opening inning. Right now the wind blowing out toward left as we get started. 9 years in the big leagues for Lance Lynn. Led the majors with 84 innings with Texas last year. So here's the left-handed hitting Trent Grisham, who won a Gold Glove in center in 2020.
Hit 251, 10 homers, 26 RBIs out of Texas. Burleson, Texas for Grisham.
We're underway. That pitch just off the outside corner. Little step, the kick, and the pitch. That is a called strike.
You know, Lance Lynn, a big part of that 2011 postseason for the La Russa-led St. Louis Cardinals. Pulled a flank muscle late in the year and came back from it. That's in the back.
That is outside.
And got a win in the World Series in that year with La Russa and the championship team.
The 2-1 offers a called strike. Dallas Keuchel calls him Tonka Truck due to his sturdy build. He is really put together. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. So Grisham is retired.
Talk about how he looks. He does look sturdy out there. But years ago, he lost 41 pounds one year. He came to camp in very good shape and got the ribbing from his teammates. Tommy John surgery in 2015. But he's come on to have a great career and gives you those innings pitched and gets you deep in a ball game, which is obviously the goal of every pitcher.
Now working against Machado, and ball 1 outside on a fastball at 94. Manny is in the third of a 10-year free agent contract. Mentioned Tatis. He recently signed a 14-year deal. That's the longest in Major League history. One ball and one strike. Wind has really picked up now, blowing out toward left. They shade him that way in the outfield. And he fouls to the screen.
Supposed to be a very warm day today, mid-70s here in Glendale in the Phoenix area. But over the weekend, 60s. In fact, Chicago may be warmer this weekend than Arizona. We'll see.
Yeah, I heard
60s, yeah.
Weather has been spring-like back in Chicago. Good to hear. Lynn ready on a 1-2, and that gets past everybody. 2-2. I would expect Lance would probably go 3 innings today.
You know, the Cardinals sent their team chef to his house one year to teach him to eat a little better prepared foods, more healthier foods. 1 week with the chef.
Yeah, that's a thing now. Pretty much every big league player, they've got their own food plan, and the nutrition side of things has really changed a lot over the last 5 or 6 years. Full count on Machado. Hosmer is on deck, just getting started. And there's a twisting drive to right. And Engel could not make the play. Got a glove on it. Machado slides in safely at second base.
That was strange, Len, because he looked like that ball. I think you called it perfect. Twisting like a knuckleball action on that thing. And Adam just couldn't corral it out there. Usually a top-notch fielder, but we'll see on the replay, slices it out there. And it's off his glove.
So that will be a double for Machado. And here is Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer now 31 years old from South Miami, Florida. 281 hit a year ago. 9 homers and 36 RBIs in the shortened season for Eric Hosmer.
Real steady first baseman. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Has a World Series ring from 2015 with the Kansas City Royals. He's in the middle of an 8-year contract. That is a strike called, and it's 1-1. Hosmer's been a pretty durable guy. Last year he did miss some time with gastritis and then a fractured finger on a bunt attempt. But generally he plays just about every day. Big swing and a foul near the plate.
You know, talking to some of these guys are on the Zoom in camp. You can't talk to them in person this year, but all the pitchers, don't you think their goals nowadays, Lance Lynn and Giolito's, they all say around 200 innings. That's one of their goals every year, it seems. And you want to get deep into the ball game. Nowadays, deep means six innings, I guess. But that's the goal of many a pitcher in camp. Stay healthy.
Yeah, Lynn, his goal is 100 pitches per start at least. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 200 innings, 200 strikeouts, pitch every 5th day. A little bit of a throwback. 2 strikeouts here in the first. Now Will Myers, who had a terrific year last year. He slugged over 615 home runs. That is a strike on a fastball. Clocked at 96
Wow.
from Lynn. Little extra on it.
Yeah. Above average.
A lot of cutters. Boy, there was a time when Lynn basically threw nothing but the variation of his fastball. 4 seamers, cutters, and 2 seamers, but he has added to his repertoire a little bit.
Scouting report, as I read, said he throws cutters mainly against right-handed batters. That's his pitch against righties.
He does have a curve. He's got a slider, a change. Just mixing things up a little bit more. Swing and a miss on a high one. Machado at second base. He doubled with 1 out. And Lynn home. 2-2.
96 again. We have the usual crowd of around 2,300 out here on this limited capacity, but good news, some Major League Baseball in Chicago yesterday. The ballpark's opening up, Wrigley and guaranteed rate. It will be allowed fans about 8,000 apiece, so great news for White Sox fans.
Yeah, that's the best news of the spring. No question. He struck him out. That's 3 for Lance Lynn as the Padres strand a man at second base. We go to the last of the first. Padres nothing, and the White Sox are coming up.
Your 2021 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. Visit rate.com to learn how Guaranteed Rate helps turn people's belief into a new home into action. If you believe, you will. Okay, great inning by Lance Lynn. Boy, he was impressive, mixing his pitches very well. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Cutters in there, change-ups, whatever. He struck out the side, gave up 1 hit, which was a kind of a weird hit. Adam Engel couldn't handle that ball in right field on a normal day. Adam gets that one easily, but it was a twisting drive that kind of got away on him. In any event, no score after a half, and back to the action. Here's Len.
Blake Snell, 28-year-old left-hander, 6'4", 225. Probably just a couple of innings for Snell. His first year as a Padre. He was acquired from Tampa Bay over the winter. What a year he had in 2018. Led the American League with a 1.89 ERA, was an All-Star and the Cy Young Award winner, facing Luis Robert to start it. Robert batting .429 to start the spring, and he hits a bounding ball to the shortstop, Abrams, and a bad throw, and Robert is aboard. It looked like a pretty routine play, but Abrams' throw was nowhere near the mark.
It was an easy tapper to short. Should have been an easy out, but the throw got away. Sox get a break here in the first inning as you have a man on board against Blake Snell. You mentioned his great 18 season, and what a year he started. I pitched at home in Seattle, his home team down in Seattle. Struck out the first 7 batters against the Mariners in that game before his family and friends land about 300 family and friends for that first game at home for Blake Snell.
Now they switch hitting. Leori Garcia batting from the right side. Hosmer sidles up to the bag at first. And a good knockdown by the catcher Nola. There are still people, I'm sure, in Tampa and some in the baseball world who are scratching their heads about Kevin Cash taking Snell out of a 1-0 lead. He was working on a 2-hit shutout in Game 6 of the World Series against the Dodgers. But Cash made the move and the bullpen couldn't hold it. Dodgers grabbed the lead and would take Game 6 and win the series.
He had 1 guy on base. Got base
73
hit,
pitches
I know.
at the time.
And Cash defended it after by saying he would have done the same thing again. But, you know, the it's a generational kind of thing. Those of my generation would say, well, come on. But the sabermetric guys might have a different opinion.
And now Snell will flip to first. I don't know exactly how Jace Tingler will line up his starters, but you could make the case of 4 guys grabbing the ball on opening day. Snell, Darvish, Lamet, Paddock, Musgrove. Back to the mound. They'll try to turn it. They get one. Relay's going to be late. So Snell kind of took his time to make sure he had a good throw to second. One thing you notice is a lot of pitchers struggle throwing the ball to second base, and that was a good job by Snell to take his time and not airmail one into center.
He did take his time, but that gave the opportunity to beat the throw at first. I guess you kind of airmail that ball sometimes. That's the danger. And that time they got the sure out at second base, but Garcia easily beat the throw at first.
Here's Andrew Vaughn playing first base, batting third. He's in there for Abreu. Garcia after the fielder's choice now at first. And the pitch is low. Great to have you with us today. We're going 9.
This is a record 3 in a row for a webcast. Len, I want you to know that. 3 in a row.
Fastball strike, according to Chris Guccione.
And by the way, our webcast audience, if you listen to the White Sox news, really growing. Obviously, the team's doing well, and YouTube's in the mix now, so our audience growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, it's great to see. We love bringing you the action from Arizona. Mercedes on deck. 0-0. We're in the first inning. Snell will throw again.
You know, Len, after the 2018 season, Snell broke a toe moving furniture in 2019, and he had a left elbow problem, so came back down to earth. But what a year 18 was. That ERA that year was Bob Gibson-esque in 2018 for Snell.
He's got a pretty good contract. He can probably pay to have someone move his furniture. Runner goes and Vaughn fouls to the screen. It's just a thought.
You know, the late Moose Skowron, who was a big power hitter for the Yankees back in the glory days, and I think the 57 World Series, Moose told me he was moving an air conditioner and hurt his back and couldn't play. The World Series. Gotta be careful.
Sometimes you have to be careful when you sneeze. That can cause an injury. Vaughn went. Call made at first base.
Well, Moose was quite a character, Len. He had a invitation from Joe DiMaggio to have dinner, and Marilyn Monroe was going to be there. Moose told me he shaved 5 times that day to impress Marilyn Monroe.
I love it. That was a borderline call. Snell picks up his first strikeout. Now Yermin Mercedes.
Moose, of course, a Chicago guy. Great man. Miss him.
Another pick toss to first.
You know, Len, we were talking about Mercedes yesterday. Chuck Garfien and I saw the game over the weekend, and Goodyear had a ringing double, drove in 3 runs. This guy's bat is amazing, but the White Sox are so deep in catching. It's interesting to see how it all works out.
Now the White Sox are in a pretty good spot in terms of catching depth.
He had a great year last year, too, before they shut him down. He was banging the ball over this yard. Yermin Mercedes.
Signed originally with the Nationals back in 2011. And Snell called for a balk, and he knew it. Do not flinch when you're pitching with a man on base.
So the Sox are the man in scoring position now with 2 out.
The 1-0 on the outer edge. White Sox could muster very little against the Dodgers yesterday. 3 hits, and 2 of those came in the final inning. The 1-1 is fouled away.
You know, early in that game, Len, I needed the game next door. The Sox were going after early pitches, weren't they? Like first, second pitches and making quick outs.
Julio Urias needed just 4 pitches to get through the first inning. Snell taking his time here with a man at second base. 2 down. And the 1-2, and Mercedes fouled that one off his foot. He's got some protection down there, but it still hurts.
That ball rolled a long way, all the way to third baseman who was playing deep. Well, I know it's early in camp and there's no concern about the bats, but you'd still like to see some hits rattle around here a little bit.
Still 1-2. Now Mercedes steps out. That wind is causing havoc all over the place. Blowing windows around and everything. And it just started. Man, when the first pitch was thrown, it was pretty calm.
It was.
Famous last words, I guess.
Our windows in the booth are blowing shut.
Mercedes with a fly ball, and the wind will carry it out to the track, but that's as far as it will go. Mateo will make the grab. White Sox get a base runner on an error. Move them to second on a balk, but do not score. We've played 1 from Camelback Ranch. 0-0.
Secure your spot at home with a 2021 ticket package. The best way to get priority access to Guaranteed Rate Field this season. For more information, visit whitesox.com or call 312-674-1000. Scoreless game after 1. Lance Lynn working inning number 2 after striking out the side and giving up 1 hit in the first. Here again is Lynn.
Well, we figured out the crazy window here was a little piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Jammed into the windowsill.
It closed right in front of me. That's very rude of this window to do that.
Tommy Pham will start the Padres second. He's the DH today. And look out. That one knocked him down on an off-speed pitch. Pham had a very scary off-field incident over the winter, leaving a nightclub and ended up getting stabbed in the back. He needed surgery and over 100 stitches in his lower back. It's pretty amazing he's back and playing. Missed half of last season with a broken hamate bone. That's near the wrist. 1-1. popped up. Wind might keep this one in play. Vaughn is over, and it'll land in the dugout.
Yeah, Pham out of Las Vegas, now 33 years old, 211 last year, 3 homers and 12 RBIs. Been around for a while. Where's number 28 for the San Diego Padres, who are expected to really battle the Dodgers neck and neck this year in that Western Division of the National League.
Former Cardinal teammates matching up here. Lynn to Pham, and that's bounced foul to third.
Well, a long time ago when he pitched at Ole Miss, Lance Lynn had a great go there. School record for strikeouts in a single game and career strikeouts at Ole Miss for Lance Lynn. Talk about 2 deep rotations. You're looking at 2 teams that have them today.
That's low.
We saw one yesterday too in the Dodgers there. Urias is, I saw a graphic fighting for a spot on the rotation. He's got one as far as I'm concerned.
And that's going to be a very tough division. The National League West. Still 2-2 on Pham.
In our division, the Minnesota Twins, of course, top competition for the White Sox.
Outside, Lynn not happy with the execution on that pitch. Full count. Nola and Mateo also due for the Pods here in the second inning. Good to see them back wearing classic Padre brown, which returned on a full-time basis last year. That's ball 4.
Lynn not happy at all. That previous pitch, he looked like his motion was off. He just shrugged it off when he got through with the pitch, and that pitch was outside too. So leadoff walk after striking out 3 in the first for Lance Lynn.
Here's Austin Nola, acquired from the Mariners in August of last year. He is the older brother of Aaron Nolan, the big right-handed pitcher for the Phillies. Fair-sized lead by Pham, not running, in the first pitch misses for ball 1.
They asked Lynn at his Zoom news conference about playing for La Russa, and he said La Russa is all about winning. He'll put you in the spot to win. High respect, obviously, for the Hall of Fame skipper, now the Chicago White Sox once again.
Foul strike, 1-1.
Lance Lynn's played for the Cardinals, the Twins, the Yankees, the Rangers. Grew up a Yankee fan.
Well, he got to 208 1/3 innings in his last full, quote, season, 2019. And then, as I mentioned earlier, he led the majors last season in the 60-gamer with 84 innings. And when you sometimes when you say workhorse or innings eater, you tend to overlook how effective a guy is. Well, he's not just an innings eater. He's been really good. That backed him away. It's 3-1.
His control of this thing a bit off. You wonder if he's trying to experiment with something after a very good first inning. Now 3-1 on Nola, the man on first base, and nobody out.
Double play depth around the infield. And back-to-back walks as he'll try to recalibrate.
Jorge Mateo, who was a Dominican, 25 years old, rookie.
He's out there in left today. Padres are an interesting organization. They have been known to have one of the best farm systems in the game the last few years. Folded back, takes ball one. But when you look at their main roster, it's guys who are signed as free agents, acquired in trades. So it's not really a homegrown ball club per se. I think that speaks to the idea of prospects aren't always developed to help you win a championship in terms of their performance with your club. Sometimes they're trade chips outside. 2-0.
That's a very good point, Len. We did these games for 4 years here. Russ Langer and I, we saw the Padres, of course, every year, and we're very impressed with their young kids. And of course, they, like the White Sox, they developed, and of course, they traded some off. And now both teams are primed for a nice 3 or 4 year run here. Some good opportunities to win a championship.
Three and 0 now after 2 straight walks to start the inning.
Their manager is Jace Tingler, who was in his first year last year, 40 years old, young guy. Second to Don Mattingly for the manager of the year. He was a former assistant GM with the Rangers, bilingual, and he's skipper of the Pods.
So he has walked the bases full with nobody out. There is some action out in the White Sox bullpen, and here comes the pitching coach, Ethan Katz, before the second baseman, Castillo, bats.
Well, right from the get-go in this inning, he looked uncomfortable out there. You can tell by his reactions to some of his own pitches. And explain this game to me. 3 strikeouts in the first inning and 3 walks here in the second.
I think that does explain the game perfectly.
Inexplicable, right?
It is a game of contradictions, for sure.
Years ago, when I was a young reporter, Jerome Holtzman, the veteran writer, told me, never make predictions.
That's right.
It's foolhardy, and he's right. Then I had a radio talk show, and my job was to make predictions.
Right. Sometimes you have no choice. Ivan Castillo bats with 3 on, nobody out, and good visit by Ethan Katz. Strike 1. Pham at third, Nola second, Mateo at first. Big time threat for the road team.
They play this guy straight away, Ivan Castillo.
Lynn ready. Outside corner 0-2. He's made 2 really good pitches to start this sequence.
Well, whatever Katz told him, and he certainly worked. 0-2 count. Infield back for double play.
Yeah, they'll give up a run. Trying to limit the damage here. Swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Lance Lynn on a changeup. So all the outs recorded so far have been punch outs, and now C.J. Abrams is shortstop. You know, the other thing, that might have been a curveball actually, hard to tell. You know, it's at the bottom of the order. He's got a couple of inexperienced hitters, so Lance Lynn probably now starting to see a little light at the end of the tunnel as he tries to get out of this mess. Ball 1.
The thing about spring training is you never know what a pitcher's doing out there. You know, he may have been experimenting with something, and Katz told him just go back to throw the ball, but you don't know. It certainly looked uncomfortable though, and when the inning began.
One ball and no strikes on Abrams. Up and in.
Abrams only 20 years old, from Georgia. Alpharetta, Georgia. First round pick in 19, 6th overall. C.J. Abrams.
Where's he going to play on this infield? The guy ahead of him, the starting shortstop, just signed a 14-year contract. 3 balls, no strikes.
He'll start the year in the taxi squad, one would think. Then the minors.
There's a strike, 3-1. Most guys will tell you can't worry about the depth chart. Just do what you do, and if you're good enough, you'll make it, whether you're wearing the same uniform or representing another team. Chance to get out of it. 6, 4, 3. Lance Lynn finds the escape hatch. And now Lance is going after Chris Guccione. And here comes Tony La Russa to make sure everybody's okay. Tony will continue this conversation on behalf of his veteran pitcher. So Lance Lynn already in midseason form as he jaws with the home plate umpire. After an inning and a half, we are still scoreless.
Rich King and Len Casper with you. Test your luck in the Queen of Hearts raffle, benefiting White Sox charities. In addition to weekly prizes, one lucky fan will win 50% of the total Progressive jackpot, which is now over $50,000. To purchase Queen of Hearts raffle tickets, visit whitesox.com/Queen of Hearts. Well, at the end of the inning, we saw Tony and Lance Lynn talking to the plate umpire Guccione. Apparently, Lance upset with some calls. We saw Adam Eaton yesterday. I'm happy with some calls. So even though it's spring training, Len, little trouble here.
Yeah, the competitive juices get flowing when you're throwing pitches in anger. And Lynn, angry after he got out of a bases loaded, no out jam. But yeah, he's a pretty fiery guy. That's what you get from Lance Lynn.
Yeah, I told the story yesterday about a game I covered of Old Timers NBA All-Star Weekend. Old Timers game. Rick Barry, the former great, upset at a foul call in an Old Timers game, arguing with the stand-in referee, the guy to be from the YMCA, but he was angry, didn't get the call. Old Timers game.
Adam Engel steps in. Recently battled a little minor ankle issue. Playing right. And toward the hole, and a backhanded pick, but the throw's going to be late by Abrams. That'll be an infield hit for Engel.
It was a nice play by Abrams, though. Really moved well. They weren't going to get Engel in any event, but he got back on the ball really nicely. Here's the replay on it. Cut it off, but the throw just impossible to get over there in time. But Engel aboard.
Miker Adolfo, the DH. With a man on and nobody out.
White Sox due for a big inning.
Are they ever?
Yeah.
What's it now? 17.
17 now, yeah.
Consecutive scoreless racks.
Last runs they got were a 2-run homer by Leury Garcia in Goodyear over the weekend. Leury in the game today, playing second base once again. In that game in Goodyear, Luis Robert had a couple of hits. Mercedes had a big booming double off the wall that drove in 3, and Larry got the 2-run homer, 7-0 over the Cleveland Indians.
That should be 2. Castillo, Abrams, Hosmer, Taylor-made, 2 down.
Miker Adolfo coming into the game hitting .250, looking for his second RBI. Got the 4.63 on that one for Luis Gonzalez.
Luis playing left.
He's got one RBI. Sorry.
My bad. Here comes the pitch. It's a strike. This should be it for Snell. There is somebody heating up in the Padres bullpen, likely for the third inning. Snell slings it home, and it's low and outside. Where would you rather be? In this ballpark on a gorgeous day in Arizona.
Well, for some people, of course, wheat field is great, or some country living, but for me, this is a little slice of heaven every year. Spring training is the best because everybody's in a good mood, optimistic, beautiful weather. Life gets no better.
Even a bad baseball game is an afternoon well spent. That's how I look at it. He wanted a call, didn't get it. It's 3-1.
Luis Gonzalez hitting .222 coming in. No homers, 1 RBI. Good bat.
Sharply hit on the ground. The 4-time Gold Glover Hosmer to Snell. So through 2, it's a 0-0 tie. Padres and White Sox from Glendale.
5 or 10 game sweet pack, perfect for spending time with family and friends or entertaining employees and clients. For information, call or text 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Score this game after 2, White Sox and the Pods.
Top of the order now for San Diego. Grisham, Machado, Hosmer against Lance Lynn.
Two double plays in this game. One really bailing out Lynn in the last inning. He loaded the bases on walks and got out of it.
He has now completed 4 innings this spring. Lynn has been charged with 1 hit, no runs, and has struck out 7. Swing and a miss. So I mentioned earlier the makeup of this Padres club. If you look at the projected roster on opening day, just the position players alone. So Nola came over from Seattle, Caratini from the Cubs, 2 catchers. Hosmer, you think of him as a Royal. Cronenworth, acquired from Tampa Bay. Tatis from the White Sox. Machado, Orioles, Dodgers before he came here. Tommy Phams moved around. Grisham was a Brewer. Will Myers came up with Kansas City and then Tampa Bay. So yeah, it's a young, exciting club, but it's not as if it's a bunch of Padres first-round draft picks.
Yeah, and the pitching too. Darvish coming in, you mentioned, and Musgrove.
Snell from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Musgrove from Pittsburgh. Another leadoff walk dealt by Lynn.
Padres last year, 37-25, 6 games out. Previous 9 years, they were under 500, so they're on the verge here of making a nice run, as are the White Sox.
Manny Machado, credited with a double on a ball that went off the glove of Engel and Wright in the first inning, and strike 1.
Well, as you well know, Len, a couple of years ago, the White Sox very interested in Machado. It was a big story early in camp. Wound up with, of course, with San Diego, but the Sox made a run at him.
That is a base hit to left, and they're threatening again. 2 on, nobody out. And Manny is 2 for 2. Here's Hosmer.
Machado last year, 3rd in the MVP balloting behind Freeman and Betts. So Padres in business again with 2 on and nobody out after loading the bases with nobody out in the 2nd inning.
And again, where you are in the lineup matters. And Lynn was able to take advantage against the bottom of the order. He struck out Castillo, then got Abrams on a double play ball. Well, now he's got to deal with Hosmer. Myers is behind him, then Pham. And a foul strike.
There is activity in the White Sox bullpen as Lynn works the 3rd here. Michael Kopech expected to pitch today.
Yeah, excited to see him work. Grisham right there in the middle of your screen, the lead man. Machado behind him. And a line shot that's going to be caught by Gonzalez. That's the first out.
That was fortunate that ball hung up. That ball was ripped to left, but Gonzalez came in, made the easy catch. So let's see if Lynn can escape trouble again. There's a, the White Sox bullpen's out there, but there's a dark screen across where the pitcher's throwing. I know he's a right-hander, but the binoculars can't see the number or the face. Could be Kopech. We'll see.
Myers fanned his first time up. Will always grabs a handful of dirt before he gets ready to hit. No batting gloves. Swing and a miss. Yeah, right there. It just kind of reaches down. Get those hands dirty. Time called at the plate. You can see the blousing of the pants and the jerseys, just how windy it is right now, right to left.
By the minute, the wind is growing here. Pretty calm this morning. Sunny skies, temperature in the mid-70s.
One and one the count. It has not been easy for Lance Lynn by any stretch. He has struck out 4. He has walked 4. But so far, he has kept the Padres off the big board. One and two, good fastball.
95 on that one. He's been 96 as his tops today.
The kick and the pitch just wide on a breaking ball. That was the curve. Another curveball, 3-2.
Yeah, once again, he kind of shook his head on that one, uncomfortable with that pitch. He's definitely scuffling, but so far, no damage done. Wind is blowing across from right to left.
Full count, one away, 2 men on here in the Padre third, and swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll be it, as here comes Tony. Lynn has reached his pitch count.
96 miles an hour on that one, and Tony out there to make the pitching change.
Well, that was a straight, hard country fastball from Lance Lynn to get Will Myers.
And we've got a change. Looks like 92. Is that right? Sox making a change in the middle of an inning here. LaRussa coming out and taking Lance Lynn out.
Will Carter.
Will Carter. The last guy listed on the road roster. Will Carter. He's 28 years old from Gray, Tennessee. Drafted by Texas back in 14. William Jackson Carter. The last man listed on the roster today gets in the game.
Carter moved around a bunch in college. Walters State Community College, East Tennessee State, and the University of Alabama.
So Lance Lynn winds up with 5 strikeouts, 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third.
Yeah, he's hoping Carter can get out of this inning unscathed and keep Lynn's ERA at 0 here in the spring.
So we're expected to see Kopech, Crochet, Cordero is on the roster here, Alex McRae, Tyler Johnson, Danny DePico on the road roster, or home roster, I should say, and Cody Medeiros, Felix Paulino among the pitchers listed as possibilities. I learned my lesson calling play-by-play, Len, and yesterday you have to do bios on all these pitchers. You never know who's going to get in the game. Even the last guy listed might get in.
No, that's right.
Sure enough, Will Carter's in the game. Probably pitched just to one man, one would think. That's what happened yesterday with Kubat.
Yeah, I think that'll be the goal. Get in, get out. So here's Pham with 2 on and 2 down, and a scoreless tie, 3rd inning.
They play Tommy Pham straight away. Trying to get out of this jam in the second. Will Carter.
The right-hander ready. Pham looks at a strike. Runners take off, and they're going to steal 3rd and 2nd, respectively, without a throw. So credit Grisham and Machado with a stolen base.
That pitch set up the steal very well. They were off with the pitch, and as a perfect pitch to run on, it turned out. There's no chance for Mercedes at all. Way low and outside, and to go to his knees to get it. And runners now at 2nd and 3rd.
Ground ball to the shortstop, gobbled up there by Mendick, and a good pick by Vaughn at the other end. So Carter does his job. Padres have stranded 5 through their first 3. White Sox will bat in the bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless tie.
Special offers and Friday 5 pre-sales and other exciting content delivered free to your inbox. Visit whitesox.com/email and do it today. Well, nice job by the White Sox in escaping some jams today. A scoreless game here at the bottom of the 3rd. New pitchers The day is over for Blake Snell, and here to call the action for you once again is Len Casper.
Thank you, Rich. Well, this is one of those make me feel old moments. The new pitcher is left-hander Ryan Weathers. His dad is David Weathers, the long-time sinker-balling reliever, 19 years in the major leagues for Stormy. And his son Ryan made his major league debut last year in the postseason. Strike called on Danny Mendick. Ryan is just 21 years old, from Loretto, Tennessee. Low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, if it makes you feel better about your age, I'm old enough to remember Ray Boone, Bob Boone, and Aaron Boone.
And Brett.
Ray Boone.
So yeah, Weathers made his debut, strike on the swing, in the division series against the Dodgers last year. Third player already to make his debut in last year's postseason. Alex Kirilloff and Shane McClanahan did it a little earlier, as Grisham back now in, and he grabs it.
Danny Mendick hitting 111 coming in. Here's Matt Reynolds playing third base today. Has failed to hit so far in the camp. White Sox still looking for some runs here, and the streak is continuing with scoreless innings.
Reynolds spent the majority of last year at the Royals alternate site. Got into 3 games with the big club. A little low, 2 balls, no strikes.
Padres has listed Emilio Pagan, Drew Pomerantz, Keon Kella, and Weathers among others. Taylor Williams supposed to pitch today for the San Diego Padres.
They train right up the road in Peoria, share that complex with the Mariners. Remember way back when the Padres spring home was in Yuma. Ball 3, 3-1.
And there is activity in the White Sox bullpen. I think I do see number 34, Michael Kopech, firing it out the outfield bullpen.
Fly ball to right. This is Will Myers. He's got it.
White Sox have 1 hit, infield hit by Adam Engel, deep shortstop. They've also gotten a board on the air. Here's the man who got a board in the air, first inning, Luis Robert.
So 2 outs, nobody on in ball 1. So the Padres, who began play in 1969, have trained in Arizona since day 1. They were in Yuma through 1993. Big cut by Luis, fouled it off, and I believe because of how far it is away from most of the spring sites in this area, most teams would go down there and stay overnight, play at least 2 games. Fly ball out into left, and it's going to be caught. Little leap and a grab by Mateo on the warning track. So we have completed 3 innings of play on this gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, turning into a very windy, gusty day here in Glendale. Still White Sox nothing, Padres nothing. Hey, make sure you download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your White Sox and the rest of the league. Scoreless tie as we get into the 4th inning. And we've all been looking forward to seeing big right-hander Michael Kopech on the mound here in the Cactus League, and he will pitch this 4th inning. Opted out last year, so it's been a while for Michael. And let's enjoy the play-by-play of Rich King and his scoreless tie.
Okay, Len, thank you very much. Michael Kopech, we shut him down a year ago. A 1-inning pitched in that game I mentioned last March 10th before the COVID shut everybody down. 11 pitches against the Rangers, 8 fastballs, and looked pretty good in that game. Scoreless, 1 strikeout. And here he is once again to face the Pods and Austin Nola. And a strike is called in the outside corner. 0-1 on Nola, who walked his first time up. Great to see Kopech back on the hill after a year off, personal reasons.
First pitch at 98.
Strike 2. Man. That was breaking pitch 87.
Good slider.
So 0-2. Off to a good start. Nola, Jorge Mateo, and Ivan Castillo coming up in this inning. Ground ball to third, backed up, and the throw. Ooh, got him. Nice play all the way around that one. Reynolds backed up on that one, bounced it in. Vaughn made a nice pickup, and just like that, 3 pitches, 1 out.
Andrew Vaughn's made a couple of nice picks over there at first base. So first 3 pitches from Kopech, Rich, fastball, slider, curveball.
Wow. Quite a difference from a year ago when it was mostly fastballs. Hit is Jorge Mateo, who's walked his first time up. Kopech got the belt. 1 out, nobody on. Here it is. Outside for ball 1. 98 on that one. Michael Kopech, you know, I had a chance to cover when he was up in 18. First game he pitched for the White Sox, and what a thrill that was. There was a buzz in the stands that day, and a buzz, Len, every time he took the hill that late in the season in 2018. Excitement. This guy, he's a fan favorite. 2 balls and no strikes on Mateo. Straight away in the outfield for this right-hand batter as Kopech delivers. Swing and a miss. 97 on that one. First game was a rainout. He pitched 2 innings on August 21st in 2018. 3 hits, no runs. Struck out 4. Then the rains came. Swinging a chop foul past third, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Yeah, I remember the buzz in the city. He came up for the first time.
Faced Detroit, Boston, Detroit, 4 games that year. 1-1 overall in the 4 games. 14 1/3 innings pitched. Strike 3 is called. And what's that one? 98 on that one. Woo! 2 out, nobody on. Kopech breezing here in 2 batters facing Ivan Castillo.
I felt the breeze after that pitch.
You know, he told the reporters he is eager to get back this year, prove himself once again. He said he missed the game more than he thought. Swinging a high fly ball. This should do it. Center field. Robert camping. One-hands it. So, great inning from Michael. 3 up, 3 down. Fly ball to center ends it. And after 3.5 here at Glendale, still no score.
Sox put it away. One pitch just changed the game. Oh, no, he did. He's down. He's saved now. Sox win.
Make sure you guys tune in.
Sports Depot opens for the season Tuesday, March 16th, just in time to get the newest gear before the start of the season. For more information, visit whitesox.com/depot or follow at White Sox Store on Instagram. White Sox batting, fourth inning. In a 0-0 tie after an electric top of the inning from Michael Kopech.
Well, that was great to see, wasn't it? 3 up and 3 down, 1 strikeout. He looked outstanding. He'll begin the year in the bullpen, of course, but see how long that lasts. What? He is quite electricity when he gets out there. All right, bottom of the fourth, start, wind blowing everything away in the booth here as Larry steps in. Fielder's choice, his first time up, homered over the weekend, and I mentioned it, Goodyear, long shot to left. Breaking ball that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Weathers on the hill for the San Diego Padres. Scoreless battle. There's a bunt. Foul ball. Foul territory. 1-2 on Leary. This guy does it all for the White Sox. Can play outfield, infield. He told me a couple of years ago his favorite position is shortstop. I'd imagine he'll be in the infield a lot more this year with the outfield situation, but we'll see.
I think shortstop is everybody's favorite position. I saw Jason Hayward, a left-handed throwing Gold Glove outfielder, taking ground balls there one day before batting practice.
Well, Danny Mendick a couple of years ago picked up an extra glove. I said, "What kind of glove is that?" He says, "An outfield glove. I got to learn to play the outfield too." There's a pitch that misses ball 3 and strike 2.
I think a lot of organizations encourage defensive versatility, particularly for guys who are kind of bubble guys in the minor leagues. And if you add a position or two, you can get to the big league sooner.
That's right. It's a new era. All right, I got a base runner here. Let's see if the White Sox can get rid of this streak of scoreless innings. Larry gets the walk. Man aboard here in the fourth. Here's Vaughn. Vaughn struck out his first time up, facing Blake Snell, now facing Weathers. Left-hander at the belt. As Larry takes off the lead at first base. Strike is called. 97 miles an hour from Weathers on that one. 0-1 to Larry. He had a mean Mercedes in the on-deck circle. Bottom of the fourth. Toss to first. Runner back easily. We can make the Kopech. Did some research on a game. Apparently pitched in the Carolina League. He was clocked at 105 miles an hour. And according to the story, they double-checked the guns on it, the radar guns, and it came in at 105. The swing and a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Larry tearing around second, going to third. The ball gets by. Larry will score on this one. And the White Sox are on the board. That'll be a base hit and an error as Vaughn makes second, but the White Sox take the lead here. And a base hit to right field by Andrew Vaughn.
Whatever it takes. It had been a while for the White Sox to score a run, but they've got the lead. Nice job by Garcia. Picked up his third base coach, Joe McEwing, who saw the misplay in right. He kept on running.
So it'll be an error on the right fielder, Myers, and Sox have a runner on second base. Run in here. Streak is over.
Got to 19 innings before they scored a run.
Here's Yadamine Mercedes, who flied out to left. His first time up high for a ball. 1-0. Now Nola going out to have a chat with Weathers. Sox now with a pair of hits. San Diego's got 2 errors in the game. And They have 2 hits. So Michael Kopech's debut, a major success, and we'll see what we got. Garrett Crochet coming in here soon too, another triple-digit guy.
Yeah, Kopech didn't need a lot of pitches to get through that inning.
Vaughn leads off second. Here's a pitch fouled past third. 1 ball, 1 strike now on Yermin.
We say the numbers don't really matter in spring training, and that is 100% true. But I think for certain guys like Kopech, results do matter, and you want confidence, and it's easy to feel really good after watching how electric his stuff was today, and the fact that he worked a pretty quick 1-2-3 inning.
Well, we had the same feeling last year. Unfortunately, everything got shut down, but he looked great that game last year, a year ago, and almost to the day, March 10th last year. Fastball missing. 2-1. That day, Len, we were doing the game, and we knew things were getting bad with the COVID. We thought we'd have one more game, but then next day they played the games in Florida, but shut the games down here in Arizona that very next day.
Yep, I'll never forget it, that whole week.
There's a shot. Fair ball going all the way to the wall. Vaughn will race around third. He will score. Mercedes slides into second base. And the White Sox take a 2-0 lead here in Glendale on the rip by Mercedes.
He's had a great spring. He has knocked in 6 runs already.
All right, the streak broken in a big way. A pair of runs. Let's see if we can add on here with Adam Engel. That ball was really blasted in the corner there, all the way to the wall. 2-0. So an error in the inning, a walk, a double, base hit, and now Engel. Engel aboard on the infield hit, deep short the last time up. So Ryan Weathers getting touched up here. Check swing to third. Holds the runner and throws the first for the out. Machado make the play look easy there. It's 5-3, first out in the inning as Vaughn stays at second. And here is Miker Adolfo, who wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play in the second. Miker's been beset with injuries ever since he joined the ball club. Hand injury, a couple of knee scrapes here and there, but this guy's got all the tools. He's a big man, got a great arm. One of their top prospects, Miker Adolfo. Strike is called. Mispronounced by many an announcer of other teams. Micker, spelled M-I-C-K-E-R, but pronounced Miker. 2-0 White Sox. Now 3 hits for the Sox. Still have a man in scoring position, only 1 out, trying to add on here with Adolfo and Gonzalez. Game number 10 for the White Sox. 1-5-3 coming in. Weathers delivers outside, way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind kicking up again. Crosswind blowing from right to left corners. Mercedes leads off second. Here it is. Inside. Breaking pitch, 87 miles an hour. And it's a 2 ball and 1 strike count on Adolfo.
Still only 24. He was 17 when he started in the system back in 2014. He hasn't really played a whole lot, as you said, due to injuries. Only played over 100 games 1 time.
Swing and a miss. He's an impressive-looking man. I hope he stay healthy. That's the big thing, obviously, with all players, especially him, though. Sox had a player, Luis Basabe, who was no longer with the team, but he was also beset with injuries every year. One of their prospects. 2-1 count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. And actually, that does it. That was a 2-2 count, so he's out. Ford had 2-1, so 2 outs now. First strikeout for Weathers in this inning, and it brings up Luis Gonzalez, who rolled out to first, deep first in the first inning. Chopper.
Weathers throwing 96 with his fastball. That looked like a good changeup to get Adolfo.
Lefty facing lefty. Outside. 1-0 on Gonzalez. Danny Mendick would be next. 2 out, though, in the inning. Sox have played it 2 here in the 4th and lead 2-0. Ryan Weathers delivers. That's a strike called. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Boy, was his dad dependable. Lots of sinkers, lots of double plays. As I said, David spent nearly 2 full decades in a big league uniform. 19 seasons.
Check swing foul.
9 different ball clubs.
Wow.
For David. And nearly 1,000 big league appearances.
One and 2 on Luis Gonzalez. Pretty straight away in the outfield for Luis. It's outside. 2-2. White Sox cracking open a scoreless game. So Lance Lynn, Carter, and Kopech so far have shut down the Padres. Swinging a foul. Lance Lynn 2 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, struck out 5, walked 4. Will Carter came in, got 1 guy on a ground ball. And then Kopech, really good inning, a 5-3, a K, and a fly ball to center. So far so good here on this sunny afternoon in Glendale, Camelback Ranch. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Luis Gonzalez. Swinging a chopper up the middle, cut off at short. Here's the throw to first base, and that does it. A 6-3 to end the inning. And the White Sox get 2 here in the inning. C.J. Abrams making that play at short. Gonzalez the 6-3. So 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. We have played 4 full here at Camelback Ranch. And the White Sox lead 2-0.
Following the White Sox on TikTok. See your favorite players up close. Catch up on in-game highlights. Brush up on the latest dance moves. All in one place. Follow the White Sox on TikTok today. Maybe we'll get some Rich King dance moves on TikTok.
I doubt that. I doubt that. My dancing days are long gone.
Here's Garrett Crochet. So we saw Lance Lynn. We've seen Michael Kopech, and now the lanky lefty here in the 5th inning. And the White Sox have their first lead in a few days.
Well, Garrett Crochet, another triple-digit guy. We saw the game I mentioned over the weekend in Goodyear. He pitched 1 inning in that game, 1 hit, no strikeouts, a single, a fly ball, a ground ball, and a fly ball in that game against the Indians. But this guy can clock it at 100, and he is something to watch. That's what's good about this White Sox club. They've got some pizzazz on this club, I'll tell you, with these pitchers. They can light up the fans, and saw Crochet last year, and he was awesome in the games we saw him in last year. I know you had a chance to see him too, right? Against the Cubs.
Yeah.
Fires it high against C.J. Abrams. 94 on that one to start out. Abrams a double play ball to bail out Lance Lynn in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 for C.J. And it's 1-1. This guy's a 6th overall pick. He's one of their top guys. Young prospects. Abrams, Grisham, and Machado. Swing and a miss. 95 on that one for Garrett. Kopech and now Garrett Crochet. Here it comes inside. Took something off that one, 82 miles an hour.
Yeah, Abrams almost leaned into it. That's the kind of pitch most guys don't mind getting hit by. The one you really try to avoid is 99.
I avoid 90. Too much for me. Ball back to the screen. Used to have the old relief pitchers. The Yankees had a guy named Ryan Dern, and he was a fireballer like Crochet and Kopech, and except in Duran's case, his first pitch was always to the backstop. the guy coming up had some trepidation.
Yeah,
you know, 3-2 count. Here it is, swinging a foul back.
Guys can hit velocity. They don't, however, like being uncomfortable in terms of the pitcher not quite knowing where it's going.
That's outside, so a leadoff walk here for C.J. Abrams. Start the 5th inning. The game at Goodyear, I had an eye on the gun on the scoreboard. His top velocity was 99 miles an hour that day for Crochet. But last year against the Cubs, he was really throwing hard. Game we saw at Guaranteed Rate Field. Here we got Anthony Rizzo on 3 pitches. Blazers. All right, here is Trent Grisham, who is 1 for 1, a walk and a strikeout for Trent. And he takes a strike. 96 for Garrett. Sox have taken a 2-0 lead. After 19 scoreless innings, they are on the board. Garrett Crochet at the belt. Here it goes. Strike is called. Abrams on first base. Nobody out here. Machado would be next. 9-inning game today. First one here in the spring. At 5, 6, 7, now 9. Swinging a foul back.
Well, these are very tough ABs for left-handed hitters against the fireballing Crochet.
Padres have stranded 5 runners in this game. They blew golden opportunities in the second and the third. Bases loaded, nobody out in the second, and Lance Lynn got out of it. Oh, just missed. 83 on a breaking ball there. Took something off it. And it's a 1-2 count for Trent Grisham. The third, they got the first 2 guys out on base, the Padres did, and then Sox got him out. Lynn and then Will Carter. Here it comes. Up high. That was a 93 on that one. Trent Grisham out of Burleson, Texas. .251 hitter last year. 10 homers, 26 RBIs for these San Diego Padres. Crochet looks in. Here it is. He got him. Strike 3. Breaking pitch again, 80 miles an hour on that one, Glenn.
Looked like a curveball from Crochet.
First strikeout for him. There it is in the replay.
Maybe a little baby slider.
So 1 out and 1 on for Machado. Machado, a couple of hits in this game, a double and a single. Gets one inside. I've never seen a game at Petco. Len, what kind of facility is that?
Yeah, it's a great ballpark, right in the gas lamp district, downtown San Diego, not far from the harbor. Usually
runner takes off, throw to second base. No chance. Good break on that one by C.J. Abrams. He steals it easily. And so the Pods have a runner in scoring position.
There's usually a lot of action in terms of pedestrians and a lot of buzz around that ballpark. I'm a fan. I like it.
Looks great on TV. But there are very few bad ballparks for Rich King. I mean, I know there are, but Tampa's not great.
No, but there are very few on that list these days. You're right.
Breaking ball misses. I think the Kingdome in the old days was no bargain. Tampa's no bargain, but saw a game in the Astrodome, which was the same kind of deal.
I kind of miss. I mean, I'm not saying half the league should have the old all-purpose ballparks, but you know, the Coliseum is still around to remind us of that era.
And that's a ball, and he's aboard. Machado draws the walk.
He's been on all 3 times today. And I think he'll be lifted for a pinch runner.
And let's see who's coming in.
Looks like Nick Tanalou will run for Machado.
Nick Tanalou at first base. The changes begin. All right, we got a 2-0 game, though. White Sox on top. 2 on, though, for the Pods here in the 5th for Eric Hosmer, who is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a line shot to left for Hosmer. Runners lead off first and second. Crochet fires outside. 1-0 on Hosmer. Will Myers next. Sox have had big double play in the second inning, looking for one more here. Would end the inning. Straight away, pretty much straight away, although Robert shaded a bit toward left field. Out there in center. Swinging a shot to third. This could be it. Around the horn, and they turn it. Wow. Double play ends the inning right around the horn, and that does it. Nice job again by the White Sox pitching. Crochet gets out of it. So we have played 4.5 now here in Glendale, and the Sox on top, 2-0. And Len Casper with you. White Sox on top, 2-0. As the changes begin for the San Diego Padres. Drew Pomeranz, the new pitcher. And we have a new shortstop who is going to be Mercano at short. Tucup. Tucupita.
Yep, Tucupita. Nicely done.
Tucupita.
Gosuke Kato is now playing first as well. Looks like Robert Hassel III is in center, and Jorge Oña is now in left.
Okay, Danny Mendick facing Drew Pomeranz, the veteran left-hander on the hill for the Pods. Fires it on the corner for a strike, 0-2. Pomeranz, now 32 years old. 1 scoreless inning so far for this veteran in camp. As he faces Mendick, swing at a high pitch. He's out of there. 1 up, 1 down. All right, here comes Matt Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 1. Tucupita Mercano, third base. That's an unusual name.
Tucupita, I believe, is his hometown as well.
All right, here's Reynolds taking it low for a ball.
Pomerantz back with the Padres for the second go-round, this time on a 4-year contract. This is year 2 of that deal. They call him Big Smooth.
2020, 1.45 in 12 games for this veteran. Been around quite a few teams. Colorado, Oakland, San Diego, San Francisco, Milwaukee, back to San Diego. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Matt Reynolds. Luis Robert in the on-deck circle. And a peel play at first base, and he's out. Strike 3. That does it. 2 outs. So 2 strikeouts for Pomerantz.
Drew Pomerantz's great-grandfather was Garland Buckeye, who pitched in the major leagues in the 1920s. One game for Washington in 1918, and then Cleveland and the New York Giants in the mid to late 20s. That's foul. Passed away in 1975. Buckeye went to Joliet Township High School.
And it's going to be, I think, catcher interference.
Yeah, good call.
As Robert takes first, that'll be an error on the catcher, right?
That is correct.
E2, that's their 3rd error. And Robert aboard. He got aboard on an error the first time up, and then flat out, now aboard again. It looks like he will not be lifted for a pinch runner as Leary stands in.
Garland Buckeye was listed at 6 feet 260.
He could use a chef at his house.
Big dude.
Team should have set the team chef over there for a couple of weeks. 1 strike on Leary. Leary 0 for 1 and walked and scored in the 4th. Fielder's choice in the 1st. Robert leads off first base, 2 out, nobody on. He's taken off. Pitches high. Here's the throw to second, and he is in there. Ball gets away, but Robert stays at second. That'll be a stolen base for Luis, who's been running in camp pretty well here. Stole the base, I believe, over the weekend, that game I saw in Goodyear. So, runner in scoring position. Sox trying to add on to a 2-0 lead with Leary, a 1-1 count. Andrew Vaughn in the on-deck circle. Drew Pomerantz struck out the first 2 men before the catcher's interference put Robert at first base, and now he's on second. Inside corner for a strike on that one at 92 for Drew Pomerantz. Wind picking up as the afternoon progresses. It's supposed to be cloudy, but still no clouds in the area here in Glendale. It's supposed to get very cool here over the weekend in the Phoenix area in low 60s. Here's the pitch. Outside. 3-1 now for Garcia. Drew Pomerantz back with the Pods. Here it is. Swinging a high fly ball to right. Coming in and over, and makes the grab for the out. And that does it. So, get a man on board, but do not score. And at the end of 5 full now, White Sox 2, Padres nothing.
Some more changes now for the White Sox. Sebi Zavala will do the catching. Zach Remillard is now playing second base. Engel goes from right to center. Blake Rutherford now in right. And the new pitcher is Right-hander Jimmy Cordero, 6'4", 240. White Sox lead this one 2-0 in the 6th.
Well, this guy's a workhorse of his own. Cordero in 30 games in the short season last year, 30 of 60. "29 years old is Jimmy from Dominican Republic. Okay, we have a 1-2 count here on Will Myers as we faced the 6th inning. White Sox on top 2-0. Cordero on the slab. With the international, Florida International, quite a workhorse for the White Sox. Swinging a high fly ball, deep center. That ball has got some juice on it, and it will sail out. Will Myers, a long blast to center field. Went on the grass out there, and fans scuffling after that ball. So Cordero comes in and gives up a long one to Will Myers.
Don't know if the wind really mattered on that one.
So 2-1 game now. Myers struck out the first 2 times, but that time he really ripped it. Ball just kept carrying.
Breaking ball was up. Myers took it out.
Here's Ugay Rosario. Ugay Rosario. Good thing I speak Spanish. His name is E-G-U-Y. Egu, actually in Spanish, Egui. Swinging a chop foul. Where's number 94, replacing Pham in the order. Pham was 0 for 1, a walk and a ground ball for Tommy. Egu Rosario. 2-1 now as Cordero steps off the hill. Kenny Williams, a couple of years ago, we were sitting out the batting cage, the back lots there, and during practice at camp outside. And Kenny Williams told us that he would not want to face Cordero. The one guy would not want to face. He's a big guy, hard thrower, comes in to the side a little bit. Says one guy I wouldn't want to face. Swinging a chop to third, and it's booted. Throw to first, off the mark, gets pie, and he's aboard.
There'll be an error. Charged to Matt Reynolds.
So Rosario aboard on the error. First White Sox error. Padres have 2. I think they have 3, but I don't think they put the catcher's interference
You're
in
correct.
There yet. Yeah.
Good catch.
So here is Luis Campusano. Luis Campusano for the Padres. Campusano coming in here with the man on board, nobody out, and run in as Cordero fires it low. 1 ball and no strikes on Campusano. Changes begin in the 6th inning in this 9-inning contest, scheduled for 9. That misses. So Cordero, after the home run, gets a tough break on the error. And now he's behind in the count on Campusano. Austin Nola began in this spot with an 0 for 1 in the order, a walk for the Padres catcher. Swinging a shot, base hit, down the line in the corner. Let's see if this gets the run in. As the runner rounds Rosario, rounds third. Here's the throw, they got a shot. He's in there. The throw is a bit off the mark up on the right of home plate. Zavala had to reach out to get it. By that time he did that, Rosario able to score, and he ties this ball game.
It's good effort by the White Sox on the relay, but Rosario with some pretty good wheels, able to score from first base on the double by Campusano, and all of a sudden we're tied.
Yeah, a home run, an error, and a double. And now here's Jorge Ona. Jorge Ona, who's in Jorge Mateo's spot, so 2 Jorges in this spot in the order. Mateo was 0 for 1 with a walk. 2-2 ball game. Just like that. Sox are breezing along here, getting great pitching, and Cordero comes in and gives up the blast to Myers, and they tie in the double by Campusano. That's a ball. Ball 1 on Ona. You got Ivan Castillo in the on-deck circle. Looks like he's going to stay in the game. Running around second. Swinging a foul. Nobody out here in the 6th. Our next webcast game, by the way, will be in a week against the Cubs. We get a little break here after 3 in a row. Exhausting schedule for the webcast team. All right, here he comes. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Nice job by the crew, especially camera operators today. The wind has really played havoc. They've been steady as she goes. Nice work, everybody.
Okay, 1-2 count. These webcast games have come a long way in 4 years. Growing in popularity. Swinging a foul back. It's fun to do. You know, for me, it's like a mulligan in life. I mean, doing baseball again after not doing it for so many years. 2 years back in 80 and 81 when Tony was the manager. All right, 1-2 on Ona. Here it is. Swing. Look like he tipped it, and he's out. So, nice strikeout by Cordero. First out in the inning. And here comes Ivan Castillo. Second baseman, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fly ball.
Good downward action on that fastball from Cordero.
Man on second, now 1 out. Sox trying to keep it even at 2-2 after taking a 2-0 lead. Swinging a chop to first. And Vaughn makes the play for the out. So that is a 3 unassisted.
I mentioned it earlier, Rich. Vaughn has looked really smooth over there with the glove. Jose Abreu will be the everyday first baseman. Vaughn, if he makes his club, will be the DH, but he can handle himself over there.
And here's the aforementioned Tucupita Marcano batting with a man on third base. Ona took third, or Campusano took third on the ground ball. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. 0-1.
He hails from Tucupita, Venezuela. Pretty cool.
Named after his hometown.
Yeah.
Where's number 88? Standing in with a 1-strike count. That one misses. Reynolds in tight at third base.
You know, if he becomes a Hall of Fame caliber player, they're going to say the city or the town was named after him.
You bet. 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside. You know, Nellie Fox was from a small town, St. Thomas, Pennsylvania, former great White Sox Hall of Fame second baseman. You go to that town, there's a big sign when you first get there, home of Nelson Fox. He was the big man in that town. 2-1. Swinging a foul back, out of play on the left side, and it's a 2-2 count now on Mercado. Hassel in the on-deck circle for the Padres as they turn over the roster here, turn over the lineup here in the 6th inning. Just tied the game with a 2 spot. They have 4 hits now. White Sox have 3. Swinging a shot up the middle. This will give them the lead. Mercado gets a base hit to center, rounds the base and holds up as the lead run scores. 3rd run of this inning. And just like that, the Padres jump on top.
Marcano now 6 for 12. That's a .500 batting average this spring.
Robert Hassel stands in for the Pods. He replaces Trent Grisham in the order. Grisham going 0 for 1 with a walk.
Cordero really has been hurt on his off speed. His breaking pitches have been elevated here in this inning, and they've made him pay.
Well, he worked a lot of games last year and figures to be in the mix this year, obviously. 30 games. There's a pitch outside. When we had access to the locker, this guy is, he must lift weights. He really looks strong. Talking about Cordero. Muscular. Outside. So we've got a good outing, though, from Kopech today, a good outing from Crochet, good outing from Lance Lynn. Things were moving along swimmingly until this inning. Throw to first base. Runner back in time. 2 balls and no strikes on Hassel. Jimmy Cordero at the belt. Here it goes. And he misses. So, a walk with 2 outs. Pushes Mercado to second base. And Hassel on first. And here comes Ethan Katz out to have a few words with Cordero. As Nick Tanielu steps in.
Well, too many walks today for White Sox pitchers. Lance Lynn was able to work around 4 of them in his 2 2/3 or 2 2/3. Did not give up a run. And we do see some action out there in the right field bullpen.
Tanielu stepping up. Nick Tanielu came in the game. Right-handed batter facing the right-hander, Jimmy Cordero. So, what an inning. Home run, an error, double, and a base hit, and then a walk. So, Cordero's, as Len mentioned, getting hit pretty hard on the high pitches. There's a pitch low for a ball. 1-0 on Tanielu. So they've made a complete shift of everybody in the order. Although Will Myers began the inning with a home run. He was in there when the game began. That one bounces in. So 2-0. Sox with 2 runs in the 4th. Padres have 3 here in the 6th. Here it comes. Strike is called. 95 on that one from Jimmy.
Might have been a little low, and he'll take it.
Mentioned Jimmy Cordero, pushing 30 years old now, 29 years old. And that one misses. So it's 3-1. One more loads them up.
Cordero, I think, saying, well, Chris, if you're going to give me that low pitch, I'll try it again. But he didn't get the call that time.
Two outs, runners lead. Swing and a miss. Full count. Blake Snell began this game for the Padres. Worked a scoreless 2 innings. Gave up an infield hit. That was about it for the star left-hander of the Pods. 3-2. Here it comes. Oh, misses. So they are loaded. Second walk given up by Cordero, and that loads them up.
That's going to be it. Here comes the skipper. So Cordero struggled his way through the 6th inning, faced 8 men, and right now has been charged with 3 runs. Got hurt on an error.
Yeah, Tony does not like the rollover where you take the pitcher out and end the inning. So we're going to continue here, and let's see who's coming in here for the White Sox, who now trail this game 3-2.
Looks like it's Cody Medeiros, the left-hander, trying to get out of this 6th inning.
Cody Medeiros out of Hawaii with the White Sox last year in spring camp. Milwaukee first-round pick back in 2014. Cody Medeiros coming in here to try to get the White Sox off another jam. Padres have loaded the bases after scoring 3 on a long 6th inning here in the sunshine of Arizona. The inning began with a Will Myers home run, and then went downhill from there. Cato in the on-deck circle. He'll be the next hitter. He came in the game in the previous inning. So the White Sox have to escape another jam here. They got out of one bases loaded situation in the 2nd inning as Lance Lynn walked the bases full, but then struck out Ivan Castillo and got Abrams in a 6-4-3 double play. But the streak of scoreless runs was broken in the 4th. The Sox got 2.
Hey, we have our attendance today. Another sellout. 2,286.
Well, it'd be good to see people in the stands at Guaranteed Rate Field. I know I called my ticket agent ready and talk about my season tickets where I fit in. Probably in the press box. All right, here's Cato. Gosuke Cato coming in here with the bases juiced and 2 outs. He replaced Hosmer in the order. Hosmer nothing out of 3. Gosuke Cato, K-A-T-O-H. Swing and a foul. Medeiros' first pitch is fouled off. White Sox looking for their 2nd win, now trail this game. Medeiros' 2nd outing in the spring. Outside, first outing was against the Angels, 1 inning, and nothing across. Left-hander. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cato. Stop the bleeding here. Padres on top, 3-2. Big inning. There it comes. Foul back. Well, 1 more and we're out of it. A 1-2 count on Cato. White Sox opened the season on the road in Anaheim. Have to worry about that rough Chicago weather, at least at the beginning. Here it is. A swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, and that does it. Nice job by Medeiros to get out of it. But the Pods scored 3 on 1, 2, 3 hits. Nixon an error, and let's see, 3 men left aboard. So, at the end of the top of the 6th here in Glendale, the Padres now lead the White Sox 3-2. Here on the web, Sox now trail at 3-2. Bottom of the 6th coming up in a 9-inning game. And a new pitcher for the San Diego Padres, Emilio Pagan. 29 years old from South Carolina. Second spring outing, gave up 3 runs in his first. 0-1 last year, 4.50 in 20 games for the San Diegans as Andrew Vaughn steps in. Well, the White Sox have to fight back now after leading 2-0, down 3-2. We are in the 6th. Straight away for Vaughn, who is 1 for 2. Base hit and a run scored his last at bat. Takes it high for a ball. Struck out in the first inning. Made some nice plays at first base today, too. Filling in for Jose at first base. Getting a shot here. But he's the man they'd like to see DH this year if he hangs in there pretty well in the spring, which he's doing so far. 2-0 on Vaughn.
The DH position is starting to kind of morph into more of a rotating, give a guy kind of a half day off sort of thing. The days of the Nelson Cruzes and Edwin Encarnacion's, David Ortiz's are not over completely, but not a lot of teams have a full-time DH these days.
Yeah, and Cruz is back again this year. Nemesis for us. 3-0. He's 40 years old now. 3-0 on Vaughn. Pagan on the slab. Delivers. Strike is called. 3 balls and 1 strike. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from the Padre right-hander. Vaughn's got the power. He can tie this one up with 1 swing. Pagan looks in. Here it is. Swing and a foul right back to the screen. Full count. Sox have a day off completely tomorrow. I shade that completely. There'll probably be guys out there right now doing something.
Yeah, usually guys who have their quote throw day will come in.
3-2 count. Delivery. And that's high. All right. Vaughn gets aboard.
You know who never gets a day off? The medical staff, strength and conditioning folks, right. The athletic training staff, they're usually working no matter what.
Yep. And probably the manager and the coaches, I would think they'd be scouring over the video or whatever on the off day. I know Tony works long hours. They all do. These coaches put in long hours. All right, a man aboard here. And the pitch to Rutherford. Blake Rutherford is a strike called, 0-1.
Especially right now, and it's not a bubble per se, but with all the restrictions on freedom for the players and the staff outside the ballpark, there's not a whole lot of other things to do other than come to the yard.
Swinging a little chopper to third. Will he beat it? Nope, they got him. But the runner goes to second.
Boy,
nice
chopper,
play. Yeah, nice play.
Tanalou.
Tanalou makes the play. 5-3 putout, but the tying run moves into second base. As Rutherford aboard for Adam Engel. Engel stays in the game, batting here in the 6th. You know, the longest hours, though, I think, of all teams I've covered are NFL coaches. I covered the Bears for many, many years, almost 400 games in my career. And those guys put in long days. They're 5 o'clock in the morning, way in the evening, and for 4 or 5 months a year they have very little free time. But baseball does the same thing. There are long hours for the coaches. 1 ball and no strikes on Engel. Engel's 1 for 2, single and a ground out for Sox right field. Right fielder now, I believe, in center field. Exchange positions. Sox looking for the tie. Runner on second base. Swinging a foul back way off to the right side in the stands. 1 ball and 1 strike on Adam Engel, who is going to see a lot of playing time this year, even though the White Sox have that set outfield. Adam Eaton acquired in the offseason, but Tony was saying in one of his Zoom chats that don't worry about Engel. He'll get lots of time out there.
He's earned it.
He sure has. He's worked hard. 1 ball and a 1 strike. Check swing, strike is called. Every year I've interviewed him here in 4 years, they were tinkering with his batting stance, the hands, and interview trying to get that bat going. He had a great Arizona Fall League about 4 years ago, lit it up, and then his bat went quiet, and for a while people said, hey, Engel can't hit. Well, he's proven he can in a big way. 1 and 2. You love to see a guy like that come back and have a great career. 1 and 2, here it is. Swinging a foul.
Good emergency hack there on a pretty nasty slider from Pagan.
Pagan walked Vaughn. Rutherford, the little chopper to third. And then 1-2 count here on Adam Engel. Here it comes, swinging a foul back. Adam hanging in there. Sox have only 3 hits in this game, but they made him count 2 in the 4th inning. Big blow was a double by Yermin Mercedes in that inning. Got the Sox going with a 2 spot. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Adam Engel. Pagan at the belt. Swing and a miss, but the ball gets away. Engel racing to first, and they got him. Woo, I thought he had it for a while, but the throw got him at first base barely.
Good play by Campusano from back of the plate. I thought for a second that he might not even make a throw. And if that ball gets past, this game would have been tied, as a runner from second would have scored.
All right, runner goes to third on that play. And here's Gavin Sheets now in the game for the White Sox. Been battling my window all day here in this wind.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Keeps sliding over. Tough to call a game with a window in your face. Swing and a miss. All right, Sheets up there in Adolfo's spot in the order. Adolfo 0 for 2, or double play and a ground ball, or a strike on the double play. 0-1 on Gavin. Good looking young hitter for the White Sox. One of Tony's standouts so far in spring training. He's singled him out. And that pitch misses. Tying run at third base in the person of Andrew Vaughn. We are in the bottom half of inning number 6 in a scheduled 9-inning game, and they will play 9 today. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here it comes. Way outside and high. 2-1 now. Padres coming in at 3-5. They have no ties for them. Sox have 3 ties, 5 losses, 1 win.
You're saying the Sox are way more formal.
Yeah, that's right. 3 ties. 2-1. Swing and a miss. I went for a high one on that one. 86 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sheets. Play him straight away. Two count. Pagan fires. Misses outside. So we go full on Sheets. Luis Gonzalez hoping to bat next. White Sox extend this inning. Three and two. Pagan looks at third and about to deliver a big pitcher in this game. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him in the outside corner. So Sox get a runner on scoring position, third base with 2 outs, fail to score. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We have played 6 full here in Glendale. Padres still on top, 3-2.
On a sunny and windy afternoon, Padres will bat here in the 7th inning. Leading this game 3-2. The Sox got 2 in the 4th. First time in 3 games they have plated runs. The Padres answered with 3 in the 6th inning to grab the lead. O'Grady, Rosario, and Campusano against Cody Medeiros. This is Brian O'Grady. Left matchup. And a wide one on a fastball. O'Grady is a Pennsylvania native, former Red, former Ray. 2 balls, no strikes. You see the long shadows here late in the afternoon.
Very pleasant day all the way around. Warm, sunny.
That is foul to first.
You know, Len, I heard a stat. You know, being as old as I am, sabermetrics, we didn't grow up with that, obviously, in baseball. But velocity off the bat.
Exit velocity.
Exit velocity. 95 miles an hour. The batting average, I heard this from another game I was watching, is over 500 when a guy has that velocity.
Yeah, I think that's where it's useful. To be honest, you know, there's been a push, and I think it's interesting. There's a foul to make it 2-2. If you have kind of a tweener error or hit call, I do think if I were an official scorer, I would want to know what the exit velocity was. So let's say a ball is kind of hit right at a guy, but under his glove, and it's, you know, 103 off the bat versus, say, 92. I might lean more toward hit than error, just knowing that, you know, it was hit a lot harder.
I was trying to think what value that has, and you know, because I sat next to a guy a couple of years ago in Surprise at a game, an exhibition game, who was doing that for the Major League Baseball, and Elo hit one, I think, 103 miles an hour off the bat, and I asked him what they used this for, and I don't think his answer was kind of vague, but
well, here's how you would use it. So let's say, just for argument's sake, let's pick Luis Robert. Let's say he starts the year, you know, hitting .210 in his first 40 at bats, but you find out that he leads the team in exit velocity. You know, you might, as a hitting coach, let's see if there's a play to be made. Nope. I think as a hitting coach, Frank Menachino can go to Robert and say, look, you're hitting the snot out of the ball. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right.
Exactly. Or if you're a hitter who, let's say, is off to a really good start, but your average exit velocity is way lower than you would hope, it doesn't mean this. You know, there may be a little luck involved there. So I think it quantifies what the eye generally can see.
Right.
And you know, we're able to measure foot speed, that way. Outfield routes, all of those things. Ball four, O'Grady is aboard. And I think for me, defensively, some of the StatCast data just kind of confirms, or at least makes you wonder at times if what your eyes see is correct. And in the case of Robert, he won the Gold Glove last year. So all the things kind of backed up what we saw in those 60 games. A man on, nobody out. Here's Eggy Rosario. But you're not wrong to just say, he hit it hard. I think that,
well, for those of us who grew up a long time ago and watched the game, you're trying to think, what value is it to know that it's 95 miles an hour? I mean, everybody tries to hit the ball hard. We all did.
Well, you know what it is? It's the hitting version of pitching.
Right.
We like to know how hard Kopech's throwing. Well, now we know how hard Robert hits the ball.
Right.
There's a well-struck ball foul.
But there has to be some kind of positive application toward helping the batter and knowing that, and that's what I was trying to figure out. I mean, it's an interesting stat. When the guy told me that LA hit the ball 103 miles an hour off the bat, that's pretty impressive, Is that the best? What's your favorite sabermetric stat, if there is one?
Well, that's not my favorite. I don't use it a lot. For me, I guess OPS matters. That is on base plus slugging. It's not a perfect statistic, but it generally gives you an idea of how good an offensive player is. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
With the one stat, the sabermetrics, that has actually hurt the players, I think. I'll tell you if this pitch.
In the air, Engel tracking, circling, he leaps and he can't make the play. It's actually off the chain link fence at the top of the wall. So that'll be a double for Rosario. Great effort by Adam Engel. He's been known to steal extra bases on occasion, but he just could not haul that one in.
That ball just carried away out there for the double, and now the Pods again with runners. There's a lot of runners on this game. Again, threatening the score here in the inning.
So let's see if Adam got a glove on it. I think Rosario thought he had gotten enough of it. Nope, just missed it, but it stayed in. Infield in, Campusano checks his swing, but he went too far for strike one. Give you a little example of OPS. Ron Santo was a guy who walked a ton back in the mid-60s. He led the NL in walks 4 out of 5 years. But at that time, guys who took walks like Ronnie did, they weren't necessarily praised for those efforts. It was all about batting average. Ronnie had a career on base percentage of .362, so he was a quote modern hitter back at that time. And I do wonder if kind of the acknowledgement of on base percentage had come a little earlier, if Ronnie would have gotten into the Hall of Fame a little sooner than he did. Unfortunately, as you know, he didn't get in until after he passed away. Dick Allen was another guy who put up great slash line numbers. Here comes Engel. Tagging at third is O'Grady, and he's going to hold with nobody out. Decided not to take a chance. So let's look at Dick Allen. Career .292 hitter. On base percentage .378, slugged .534. That's a career OPS of .912. That is, that's Hall of Fame.
That is, yeah.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Nice play by Engel, by the way, setting up for that throw. But there's a stat I think that has the analysis of sabermetrics that has hurt the players is this after 30 stats. When you turn 30 years old, and your production goes down after that year. And players years ago, 31, 32, were getting, I think, better contracts for longer terms at that point. Now, it's kind of gone the other way.
You're absolutely right.
You're 31, 32. They're not going to give you that big deal.
The 0-1 called strike, infield in here as Medeiros tries to work around some traffic. Well, one guy who's gone against that is Jose Abreu, an MVP at 33 last year. Swing and a miss, strike three. Jorge Oña is out, 2 down. And it's Castillo with the infield now moving back. I think the one big contract that changed everything in that regard was Albert Pujols with the Angels.
Yeah.
This is the 10th and final year of that deal. He'll be a Hall of Famer, no question about it, but
Cabrera maybe too with Detroit.
Miguel Cabrera's another.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting how the game changes. And also in the old days, you know, low fastballs were the strikeout pitch. Now everything's high. It's up because of the launch angle, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Big changes. Significant.
Well, the other issue about the 30-plus player is that invariably almost every guy in that category is free agent. So he's beyond the 6 years of service time, meaning they've got to get paid, right? Because of the way the system works, you don't really get the big dollars until you pass that 6 years of service time. So it's about value. It's about diminishing returns in terms of performance. But yeah, you're right. I think younger players are kind of valued a lot more now than ever before, and you're seeing a lot of guys get locked up to long-term deals at age 22, 23.
Well, Rick Hahn, the White Sox have locked up pretty much all these guys for lengthy contracts very early, which brings a degree of tranquility to the organization, needless to say.
1-2, bouncer toward the middle, and it'll be handled by Remillard. Medeiros gets out of it. So we hit the 7th inning stretch. Padres put him at second and third with nobody out, but did not score. So the White Sox still very much in this game. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 3-2 San Diego. White Sox bat here in the bottom of the 7th. Right-hander Taylor Williams, former Brewer and Mariner, now working for the visitors. Gonzalez takes strike one. Luis started in left and still in the ball game for his 3rd plate appearance. On the ground, Castillo out in shallow right will make the play.
You know, it's interesting talking to about sabermetrics and the changes in baseball. It was an interesting quote a couple of years ago from Vin Scully after he retired, and he said he felt the game had passed him by in a degree because of all these numbers and different WAR and all that stuff that brought in the different stats. And it's true to agree. If you've followed the game and you're elderly, you got to grasp these numbers, try to grasp what they mean, and that's why I ask him these questions, because you're of a different generation, so it's very helpful.
Mendick will round first aggressively and hold with a single. He might come out for a pinch runner. We'll see. Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of the things that we thought applied still do. And I think a lot of these numbers reinforce long-held assumptions. In other cases, maybe not as much. And I think a lot of these numbers are not about what has actually occurred, but it's trying to figure out trends and what might occur. You hear about fielding independent pitching. It's called a FIP, and it's listed like ERA. There's a close play at first. There is a lot of luck in this game, and you're just trying to figure out how much is luck, how much is not. And, you know, for pitchers, and we've seen a few of these today, Rich, where you get a ground ball, right? With a situation like this, you get a ground ball, but it ends up squeaking through the hole and getting into left. Well, did you do your job or not?
That's right.
Right? The result would say you did not.
I know. Well, I saw an analysis of the WAR stat, and I read extensively about it. Everything is figured in, where the guy played, position-wise, what the batter's doing. I mean, there's so much goes into it. It's really a fascinating discussion if you analyze it. And that's the number most people use now as a big one, the WAR number. And it's hard to figure out if you haven't been in the game.
Well, I can't define it. I can't calculate it, but
they figure it out. I've seen a guy figure it out on paper, and I explain everything.
Check, swing, foul. Well, if you look at the career leaderboard for wins above replacement as an offensive player, you ready for the top? We'll just keep going here.
Okay.
Babe Ruth's number 1.
Figures.
Ty Cobb is number 2. Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Tris Speaker, Honus Wagner, and Rogers Hornsby. There's your top 10. There's the ground ball. Right on cue, and Reynolds with a base hit to left. So 2 on with 1 out. So say what you want about WAR, but that's a pretty good list of 10 players.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Arguably the 10 best offensive players in the history of the sport.
Well, this play I saw analyzed, I mean, it was a play involving Bryce Harper. He got a base hit or something. They analyzed the whole play, where the position, the outfielder was positioned, where Harper hit the ball in the batting box. So everything was analyzed. It's really extensive work involved in that stat.
Sebi Zavala, his first chance. Now, one of the answers to this leaderboard might be, I don't need WAR to tell me Babe Ruth was the best player of all time. That is true, but here's where I think it becomes valuable.
Okay.
The aforementioned Dick Allen ranks 62nd all time in wins above replacement at 70.2. That is just foul to right. His wins above replacement are ahead of Duke Snider, Johnny Mize,
wow,
our buddy Tim Raines,
yep,
Barry Larkin, Tony Gwynn, Edgar Martinez, Ron Santo, Billy Williams, Mike Piazza, Carlton Fisk, Johnny Bench. So to me, that's where the WAR stat comes into play.
Yep.
Where you say Dick Allen was way, way, way underrated. And he was.
Well,
if I haven't made myself clear.
I saw him play. He could, that big bat, heavy bat. Well, having said all that, mentioned so many Bears games, 450 in my career. I never could figure out what it went to the quarterback rating either, but that's a number they use a lot. And if you got 110 quarterback rating, your Aaron Rodgers, speaks for itself. I've covered Bears quarterbacks who had 0 ratings. They've had a trouble with that position my entire life after Sid Luckman. It's a great discussion, though, because I think the older generation has to try to figure this stuff out a little bit and what it means.
The 1-2 pitch. Zavala taps foul. There are some. Brian Kenny is one. He talks about killing the win, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There is a push by some to get rid of the E in ERA and just say run average.
Uh-huh.
The idea being that errors are part of the game and every ball that's put in play and if an out's not recorded should be a hit. I don't think we'll ever go that far. Ooh, look out.
Wow.
Zavala just got beaned, and fortunately he looks like he's all right, and the bases are loaded. Boy, that is always scary when you see a pitch up and in like that. Let's see where it got him. Like the upper arm, maybe just above that protected elbow. Fortunately got his head out of the way. Now Remillard with the bases loaded. Sox down a run, but they are mounting a big threat. Zach takes a slider outside from Williams.
Williams out of Vancouver, went to Kent State. Seattle and San Diego last year. In a jam here, bases loaded and only one out.
Fouled away.
Well, the other one stat that came in a few years ago was quality starts, and again going back to my generation, Billy Pierce, who I got to know pretty well, who's a White Sox ambassador, passed away a few years ago. Great pitcher for the White Sox. He always took issue with the quality start. Back in his day, 8 innings was a non-quality start.
Right.
6 innings and 3 runs is 4.50, and he couldn't understand why that's such a good quality start.
Right. Well, most quality starts are much better than that. That's the minimum, and teams win about 70% of the games in which they get a quality start. The other one I like, if you hit a 3-run homer, I think your win percentage is like 75–80%. Remillard chops that one foul up along third. So I guess if the numbers are right, you'd rather get a 3-run homer than a quality start. You're going to win most of the time.
Yep.
And that makes sense.
Well, in the years ago when the movie came out about Billy Beane and that era, the stats and everything, and that was greeted as a good movie, a very interesting movie, but baseball establishment looked down upon that movie a lot. I know I ran into Jim Fregosi, of all guys, when he was working for somebody in the press box one year after that movie came out at guaranteed rate. And I said, "What do you think of the movie, Jim?" He said, "Forget it." He said, he didn't invent on base percentage. But a lot of that makes sense. You can't look at numbers and poo-poo them all the time and say, the old days were better. Not a good way to look at life.
Oh, that was nasty. A knee buckling slider from Taylor Williams. And a huge strikeout for him. Boy, that was a nasty, nasty pitch. It's up to Vaughn with 2 outs.
Well, the good news is this is a 9-inning game.
That's right.
We're in the 7th. Lots of opportunities here left for the White Sox, including this one with the bases loaded.
Vaughn with a strikeout, a single, a walk, and a run. Mendick at third, Reynolds second, Zavala with a fair lead at first. Inside on the slider. Wind has picked up, blowing even more briskly out toward left center. Two and 0 on Vaughn.
94 miles an hour from Williams on that pitch. So he's behind in the count with the bases loaded. Let's see if Vaughn can settle in here and drive one out there somewhere.
Missed again. This is probably a take all the way here with the bases loaded. Yep. Pitcher's strike, 3-1.
No activity in the Padres bullpen. Keone Kela is still scheduled to pitch in this one. They've also brought some additional pitchers, so they won't run out of pitchers in this game. We got 3 more on the roster besides Kela left to go here if they need him.
That's going to get Williams out of the inning as Castillo makes the play. So the White Sox leave the bases full in the 7th. We head off to the 8th. It's still San Diego 3 and the Sox 2. (3-2) San Diego. White Sox had a brief lead. They scored 2 in the 4th. But the Pods with a 3 spot in the 6th, including a leadoff home run from Will Myers. So they've got a 1-run lead late. And most of the fans who bought tickets are still in the ballpark here in the later innings. This is right-hander Tyler Johnson. A work for the Sox.
Out of Richmond, Virginia, 25 years old. Sox draft pick out of University of South Carolina, Tyler Johnson.
Happy 26th birthday to Sox right-hander Zach Birdie, celebrating today. Tucupita Marcano, strike 1.
This will be Johnson's 3rd outing of the spring. Pitched against the Royals. 3 runs in that game in 2/3. And shut down the Rockies a couple of days ago. 1 hit, 1 inning.
There's a bullet out toward the alleyway. It's going to get to the fence. Marcano's going to try for 3, and he will make it. That's a leadoff 3-base hit for Marcano.
That was in the gap. The old gapper way out there toward the wall, and an easy triple on that one. Not even close to third base. So Rockies have had lots of base runners in this one. They've stranded, wow, they stranded 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 men. And they've still scored, or the Padres have scored 3 in this game.
Infield in, Robert Hassel takes ball 1. 8th overall pick in last year's draft out of Thompson's Station, Tennessee. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Very youthful appearance for Mr. Hassel.
He's only 19 years old.
Looks like a teenager on the picture. Yeah,
he is.
And he is. So I looked up, I said, looks like as a teenager. He's 19, as he is, still is.
Two-one offer outside. 3 balls and a strike. Largely, the White Sox have been able to get away with a lot of 3-ball counts, some walks. Padres have stranded 11
yep,
through
11.
7 innings.
Yep. Action galore in this one for the Padres. White Sox have scored a couple. You know, it's a factor, too, in a lot of these Hall of Fame. You mentioned earlier about Dick Allen, the Hall of Fame.
Got him looking on a fastball.
Nice work. Is the ballpark, you know, I mean, the old ballparks, Ebbets Field. I mean, Moose Gowan used to tell me, he played in Yankee Stadium, of course, which is cavernous out there in left center field. He was complaining if he played at Ebbets Field, he said, Rich, I could have hit 600 home runs.
There's no question. And just about every ballpark these days, they've brought the fences in at one point or another. Infield still in against Nick Tanalou, who takes a strike on a bender.
Well, you, of course, know Wrigley Field very well. They put that screen in there, I think, back in the late 60s to prevent the fans from throwing stuff on the field. But that screen catches a lot of potential outs.
It does. That breaking ball got away from him, 1-1.
Well, Yankee Stadium, that was something. Left center, you could run forever out there.
Well, that is a home run haven, the new
one. Yeah.
Yankee Stadium. Outside. The count is 2-1 on Tanaloo.
I saw a game there in the old Yankee Stadium in 80 and 81. Chet Lemon was playing center field for the White Sox. He was playing over toward right. And I forgot who hit a ball in the gap and left. He ran a mile and tracked it down. One of the longest stretches I've ever seen a guy run.
Good location on the outside edge.
The old Comiskey Park, which of course was designed by a pitcher. That was a pitcher's haven. I think San Diego, the new park, was for a while. I don't know how it is now, but
much less pitcher friendly than it used to be. Fly ball to center. Engel will try to get behind the ball. Tagging is Marcano, and he's in. Sacrifice fly for Tanaloo, and it's 4-2. So they add an insurance run here in the 8th.
No chance at all for Adam on that one. Deep fly ball, deep enough anyway, and a nice throw, but no chance at all. So Padres tack on a run, 4-2.
Yeah, good effort by Engel. Really no chance. So 2 down in the inning. It's Gosuke Kato playing first. Strike looking. This is the first time the White Sox have played in the 8th inning this spring. That is a fair ball for Kato. I don't think he saw it out of the box. Kind of a late break. And he's on his way to second, and he's going to be just safe.
He almost cost himself there. You mentioned he didn't realize it was fair, and he barely got in there. That would have been embarrassing to be thrown out on that one. Another base runner. Wow.
That late reaction, and then as Rutherford or Garcia or Gonzalez played it well, but Kato keeps the inning alive for O'Grady. Johnson home, it's a strike. So as Rich mentioned, the next webcast will be next Monday against the Cubs. We'll have television on Saturday. The White Sox host the Angels. And DJ and I will be right next door to you guys on Monday. The Cubs come here.
Can't wait.
On radio.
Love to see the Cubs and White Sox every day.
Outside 2-1. They have a lot of new faces, including Jock Peterson, Zach Davies, and that Yu Darvish deal. Foul strike, 2-2.
You're talking about the changes in baseball. These teams, they're worth billions now. You know, I remember the Dodgers. When the Dodgers were here, did a number on that. And Jerry Reinsdorf and his group bought the White Sox back in 1980 for $21 million. And you imagine the markup on that now. These franchises are worth so much. You're talking in billions. The B.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a great investment. But back then, Bowie Kuhn actually helped Jerry get the team by nixing the deal for Edward DeBartolo, who wanted to buy the club from Bill Veeck and didn't go through because the owners wouldn't approve it.
41st season as the White Sox chairman. O'Grady lines out. The Padres do add a run to their lead, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's now San Diego 4 and the White Sox 2. Spring training in the Cactus League. Mountains everywhere you look in the valley, and we We've been very fortunate with some great weather over the last couple of weeks.
It's been unusually warm here this time of the year, but it's going to cool off. I saw a high of 62 here. Frigid temperatures for Arizona on Friday. Be warmer in Chicago. But that happens now and then.
New pitcher for the Padres is right-hander Evan Miller. He's from LaPorte, Indiana. Gets a ground ball to the shortstop. Marcano up with it, and Rutherford just beat out an infield single.
That ball slowed down a bit by the grass, and the White Sox have a runner aboard here in the 8th, down 4-2. There it is on the replay, low pitch, and took just enough off that ground ball to get in there for a base hit.
Nick Williams will hit in Engel's spot. 4-2 ball game in the 8th.
We were talking last inning about teams worth. The New York Yankees are worth $5 billion according to Forbes. Dodgers $3.4 billion. Red Sox $3.3 billion. The Cubs $3.2.
Yeah, but a cup of coffee in New York costs $6. It's all about perspective, Rich.
I know. Well, the White Sox have to be at least a 1B in there, right? So, of a $21 million investment. I wish I'd have given Jerry some of my meager cash, you know. I could have given him 50 grand, get in on it.
Backhanded pick by Kato. And the pitcher covering, but Evan Miller could not find the bag. So they only get one.
It was a tough play all the way around. They almost turned it. Good effort by everybody on by Padre infield on that one. There's the replay, but it was off the bag, and the Sox still have a runner aboard. One out now.
No, but you're right. If I had only bought Apple stock 20 years ago, if I'd only bought some Bitcoin 8 years ago. The story of our life.
Well, the story about how Jerry got the team is very interesting. I covered that meeting down in Dallas, Texas, back when the team was up for sale. Bill Veck owned it, and I did the radio in 1980, and then we were on a shoestring. We flew commercial back then, and the hotels weren't the greatest. When Jerry took over, everything changed. There was a great enthusiasm, investment of money, and the next year was a lot better, 81. But Edward DeBartolo obviously wanted to buy the team, and we were in a hotel the day before the vote, and he stopped by and some of his associates and put a $100 bill on the bar and said, "You boys have a drink on me." All the writers were, not all of them, but 3 or 4 writers were there. And he said, "I got 4 votes. That's it. I'm going to lose." So that's what happened. He got 4 votes.
Wow.
And the Billy Kuhn did not, for some reason, the connections he had and various circles, he didn't like it, and they didn't want DeBartolo to have the team, which turned out to be a real plus for the White Sox, because when Jerry took over, everything changed. They cleaned up the ballpark, and a lot of post-game or in-game hooliganism was taken out of that ballpark.
Sheets fouls near home plate.
I did a post-game show for radio in '81. And I can tell you, they really took all the people who were creating trouble and using bad language, and that shaped up that ballpark pretty much. And after that, it took care of itself. They remodeled it a little bit, did the best they could with it, until, of course, it was unusable later on.
1 on, 1 away. On a hop to the shortstop. This time they will turn it 6-4-3. And the White Sox are finished in the 8th. Here comes the 9th. Padres 4, White Sox 2. Alex McRae will work the 9th here for the White Sox.
Alex McRae, 27 years old, from West Allis, Wisconsin. Lives in Delafield now. We know that area very well. Signed as a free agent back in January 6th of 2021.
Yeah, when I think of West Dallas, I think of speed skating.
Yep.
Right? They've got the big facility there, and I think of the Wisconsin State Fair.
There you go.
Rosario with a double in the 7th. That's a strike.
Cray was at Schaumburg, that training facility last year for the White Sox.
Is it Dan Jansen, Bonnie Blair?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Wisconsin connection.
Great.
Gold medal speed skaters. The 0-2. He got him looking. One away here in the 9th. Now, I don't know if you're an ice skater at all, or hockey or anything like that. I played a little hockey, love skating. I've never been on speed skates.
No.
I would love to try it.
I played sandlot hockey, if you prefer, years when I was a young man. That's a tough one to play. You don't realize how tough it is.
That went through the legs of McRae, played by Remillard, and quickly 2 outs.
You look at, I used to cover the Blackhawks, obviously, in my career as a television. You sit and practice and watch the speed these guys have on the ice. It's amazing what they can do with that puck. And having played the game a little bit, you realize how tough that is.
Yeah. Nice job by McRae to just kind of get out of the way. If that ball hits his foot, probably deflects into the outfield for a hit. Jorge Oña. Good curve for a strike. (4-2) San Diego, 9th inning. Softly hit to third. Reynolds to Vaughn. Nice work, Alex McRae. Last chance now for the Sox, trailing by 2. It's 4-2 San Diego in the 9th.
Rich King along with Len Casper. Sox down 4-2. Looks like Miguel Diaz, the new pitcher for San Diego. 6 foot, 224. 26 years old, from the Dominican Republic.
Gonzalez will lead it off. Marco Hernandez is on deck. And Luis takes a strike. Diaz debuted in 2017 at the major league level. One and one the count.
Well, the White Sox finally scored, broke that 19-inning scoreless streak, but haven't done much since. They got 2 in the 4th. The big hit being a double by Yermin Mercedes, but haven't done much since.
Yeah, they had them loaded with 1 away in the 7th, but could not get a run home. Foul strike. It's 1-2.
But there's been some pluses in this one. Lance Lynn pitched well, 2 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, and Michael Kopech came in and looked really good. 1 inning pitch, struck out 1.
Yeah, for me, that's the highlight so far today. Is seeing Kopech make a successful Cactus League debut.
Garrett Crochet pitched well, 1 inning, scoreless.
Swing and a miss. That's out number 1.
So the White Sox get a day off tomorrow. Regroup, and our next game again on the webcast is a week away, 15th, against the Chicago Cubs.
Zach Collins. And now Hernandez will stay on deck. Tony still managing. 9th inning of a spring game, but trying to set up this inning to give his team the best chance to come back and at least tie it. And a pitch from Diaz, a big swing and a miss. well located on the outer edge.
The Sox had 7 hits in the last 2 games. They got 5 today. So make it 12 hits in 3 games. And a total of 2 runs.
To left and caught. Collins hit it right on the button, but for out number 2. Well, there you go. Talking about the numbers earlier. This game can fool you. That's an 0 for 1 in the book for Zach Collins, but
right. Squared it up, didn't he?
He sure did.
Yep.
Yeah. He did exactly what you're taught to do. And here is Hernandez representing the last chance now for the Sox. Marco Hernandez. You know, the old adage is they all even out. For every line out to left, you pick up a little flare to right. But for some guys, it does even out, but I guess in some cases it might not.
No, you're right. You find out as the older you get, Len, that life is unfair. It doesn't even out many times. Just play golf and find that out. Every shot you think you don't remember the balls you get a break on. You remember every one you don't get a break on.
Line shots up the middle are now caught because of the shift, but if there's a ground ball to where the shortstop normally would be that gets through, the pitcher looks in the dugout and says, "Where was he?" Well, you forgot all the 7 outs we got on the liner in the shift.
Well, the shift has killed a lot of averages, but that shift happened a long time ago. Lou Boudreau had a shift against Ted Williams. So did the White Sox. Ray Fox used to play 20 feet back on the grass when Williams was up and nobody on. But nowadays it's a standard procedure.
It really is. Yeah. Low and in, 1 and 2. Straight up is a compliment these days. He can hit to all fields. One ball and 2 strikes. We will try it once more.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Nick Madrigal play a full season this year. There's a guy that can spray it around. You talk about playing him straight away. And he's kidding around about getting 3,000 hits for his career, but that's the kind of guy who can do it if he stays healthy and lasts long enough. He's got good speed. They got a lot of hits, so can't wait to see him have a full season under his belt.
Made his Cactus League debut yesterday. Ground ball fair. Cato will get it to Diaz, and the Padres engineer a comeback win here this afternoon. Final score in all 9 for the first time. The Padres 4, White Sox 2. Here's your final out. And again, Rich, highlight of the day for me was the work of Michael Kopech. And as you said, Lance Lynn worked out of some early.
Yeah, he walked 4, Lynn did, but he struck out 5, looked pretty good. And Kopech and Crochet pitched well, and the Mercedes had a big hit. Aside from that, though, Padres prevailed at 4-2, and the Sox dropped to 1-6-3.
All right, well, thanks to our entire crew, and thanks to you for watching and listening. And we'll see you again next Monday right here on WhiteSox.com and YouTube. White Sox Baseball. We'll see you. Have a great week, everybody.